winning $1 million tonight. I have lottery. No, you're not.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Millions of people have read The Secret, have watched The Secret, and they're not able to manifest. And your lawyers and your malpractice insurance doesn't want you to talk about these things because this is liability. Because there's no data. This is not standard of care. In God came trust. Everybody else needs data.
Hi, welcome back to the Wake Up Call. I'm your host, Luis, and today I have a special guest, Dr. Noushin. She is a board-certified radiation oncologist, a pioneer of cancer education, and an energy healer. So, I'd like to welcome you, Dr. Noushin. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Dr. Noushin, for the audience that is, just now, chiming in and getting to know you for the first time, could you give us a quick, brief introduction and background of where you came and how it kind of led you into the work that you do today?
Sure. I'm originally from Iran. I finished my medical school in Iran in 1987 and came to the US in 1994. I had some political activity in Iran and they didn't let me do my residency in Iran. That is why I came to the US. And I finished my residency in the US in radiation oncology in 2000.
Okay.
And I practiced for many years since 2000, mostly focusing on breast cancer and female malignancies.
Okay.
And what really led me into energy work was my personal struggles as a result of significant childhood trauma I had, which had resulted in clinical depression, insomnia, PTSD, panic attacks, which was not responding to Western treatments.
Oh, okay. And so for 30 years, you went through all this trauma and struggle. So at what point did you feel, especially in your career as a radiation oncologist, at what point did you finally feel like, okay, this is the pivotal moment, this is the deciding factor, I have to find something else? Take us into that moment. We'll call it rock bottom. Did you have a rock bottom moment where it was just like, this is it?
I absolutely did. I got to a point in 2019-20 when I had to decide whether I can live like that or I had to end my life. It was that serious. And quite honestly, I had planned my exit. And the only reason I didn't do that was my father and my daughter. Because I knew that the pain doesn't end by ending your life. You give it to the people who are left behind. And I didn't feel I could do that to my parents and my daughter. So I knew that I had to do something to survive. And obviously not a coincidence, the two modalities that saved my life, simultaneously they showed up in Facebook. And even though as a physician, I was trained to always ask for data. In fact, I remember that at the beginning of every presentation I had, I used to use this quote from late Dr. Barnard Fisher, who said, "In God we trust, everybody else needs data." So if somebody didn't have a data to support what they were offering, I was like, okay, don't talk to me. I can't discuss something that you don't have data for. I was so miserable. It's like, okay, you don't have data, I don't care. I'll try it.
Yeah.
So I tried, and I'm very happy that I tried KAP and MAP, and I was astonished. After 30 years of therapy, my significant childhood trauma and adulthood trauma had not been resolved, and 6 sessions of MAP, which stands for Make Anything Possible, was neutralized. And I was like, what?
Wow.
Nobody knows about this. And that's why I decided to become a coach in MAP.
Wow.
And with KAP, it took a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But again, it turned me into a completely new person.
Wow.
And a combination of these two, I shortly afterwards stopped all of my medications. I stopped therapy. I was sleeping, and I am still sleeping like a baby. I have been happiest in my life. I have been healthiest in my life. And I decided to become a KAP facilitator, and I offer these modalities because I am sure that as we're sitting here talking, there's some people who are where I was in 2019.
Yeah.
And I want to tell them there's hope.
Well, yes, there is. And I could see, I as soon as I saw you walk in the room, I completely felt your energy. I also felt your energy and some other content that you've published already. I have a question. So you, for years and years and years, you practiced radiation oncology. What modalities did you use, or what approaches did you take before leading up to getting introduced to MAP and KAP, which obviously from your testimony, it seems like, it's worked miracles. But what were your approaches? What were some of your approaches? Because there are some people out there that, I think they get stuck in the idea of that, okay, I'm going to go to a doctor, take a pill, and that be it, I'm going to get fixed. But they keep either getting, and I'm not saying that Western medicine doesn't treat or heal some, symptoms or illnesses, but something a little bit deeper, because this is something rooted inside of somebody's soul, right?
Absolutely.
What approaches did you take that led you to that, as far as you go into a MAP and KAP?
So my view about oncology has changed in the sense that I am not against the standard of care at all.
Okay.
So I do believe that somebody who is diagnosed with cancer, they should consider standard of care. I'm not against it at all.
Yeah.
But I think that's just the beginning of their treatment.
Yeah.
With Western medicine, what is missing is that we don't get to the root cause. We treat the cancer, and then we say, okay, now that your treatment is over, I'll see you every 3 months, because we want to catch it early when it comes back.
Yeah.
We cannot anticipate the cancer coming back.
Yeah.
We never ask, why did you get it to begin with? Now, the tragic part is that we have had data since 1940s that links mental health to physical health, which links unhealed, unaddressed childhood, adulthood traumas to many chronic serious illnesses, including cancer.
Wow.
But they have been black shelved by pharmaceutical companies because it doesn't make money for them.
I was just about to say.
Right?
Money. Profit.
So my approach now is that, yes, please get standard of care. Once you're done with that, let's start working on your traumas.
Yeah.
Let's figure out why you got cancer. For example, lung cancer is linked to smoking. But why is it that not every smoker gets lung cancer?
That's a very good question.
So it is not a cause and effect. If it was a cause and effect, 100% of smokers should get lung cancer. It's not a cause and effect.
Yeah.
The traumatized ones are getting cancer.
Yeah.
So my approach is that it should be a combination of standard care plus addressing unhealed traumas.
Yeah. So what for people that are trying to get to the bottom of some people have different approaches. Some people go to the doctor. Some people, like yourself,
Right.
Find different modalities. Yoga is one of them. Meditation,
Right.
Kundalini activation process, like you mentioned. But for people who are out there completely ignorant of what's out there, there's a lot of information and different, folks that are very well educated, but they don't know what kind of recommendations would you give the person that's looking for deep healing and not just a prescription bottle?
The sad part of it is that the term alternative medicine has become very popular. And many people come to me for my online consultation that I don't want a chemo, and I respect that.
Yeah.
I don't want radiation, I don't want this, I just want to do this and this and that, right? Yeah. So my approach is complementary medicine rather than alternative.
Okay.
So I would say,
Complementary medicine.
and the other thing that happens is that, which I don't like, is that there's this term fighting cancer.
Oh.
When your body has whispered for years that there's something wrong that is happening, whether it's the water or the air or the food or whatever, or your traumas, and we don't listen because we are not still, because we are not connected to our body, the body starts screaming, and that is usually the disease, right? It wants to take your attention. So it's not a fight. It's, you need to listen to your body. No. It has to be a lifestyle change.
Yeah.
So you address what is staring you in the face, whatever it is. It could be cancer, it could be something else. But then let's talk about how you want to change your life. And the lifestyle, it has multiple aspects.
Yeah.
It starts from your environment, electromagnetic field, the water you're drinking, the air you're breathing, the food you're eating. How much are you sleeping? How much stress is in your life? Are you meditating? Are you breathing properly? What about your traumas? So you have to address all of these. Rather than, it's not just one and done. It has to be a multifaceted approach. So that is why I do this second opinion kind of consulting on my website, that I would say let's look at everything. It's not just, okay, just radiation, just chemotherapy. And I respect that and have done it for decades, right?
Yeah.
But now I have come out of clinic because I think I can approach it more holistically. And sadly, you can't talk about KAP and MAP in clinic. Because
I wonder why.
because we practice defensive medicine, and your lawyers and your malpractice insurance doesn't want you to talk about these things because this is liability. Because there's no data. This is not standard of care. And so that's why I'm out of clinic, because I feel the liberty that I can talk about everything, that I can have a holistic approach. I think my role as an educator here would help more people than me giving radiation to people.
Yeah.
There are many good radiation oncologists out there.
Yeah. No, that's good. I like that you give credit where credit's due. You're not opposed to Western medicine, and but this different approach. And you mentioned something that I found quite interesting is that once you stepped out of clinical, you're able to be a little bit more open about the holistic approach. And I wondered, how has it changed for you as far as with how you approach people that come to you? How is that now? You don't feel like you got to watch your every word?
Exactly. Yeah. I feel free to say what I really think, what I really believe, and share my own story. And I remember when I just started practicing in 2000 as a new graduate, we were taught in medical school that if I said, you know, you need radiation, and the patient said, no, I don't want to get radiation, you have to send them a certified letter and tell them that I told you that you need radiation, and if you don't get radiation, the cancer is going to come back, da 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 da, just to protect yourself.
Wow.
Right? Just legally protect yourself. I don't do that anymore. It's like, okay, you don't want to get radiation? That's your body. I give you all the information. It's your body. Whatever you want to do, I respect your choice. So I respectfully give all the information, and I'm pro-choice. If they don't want to do it, they don't do it.
Yeah, no, I'm just thinking, me sitting in your shoes, me being able to tell a patient, look, aside from, you know, asking them if they want radiation, but has it ever came to a point where you like tell the patient, I can't do nothing for you? Like the treatment that I'm going to give you is not going to help. Whether it's radiation oncology, now we're talking about the approach now is MAP and KAP, and being able to, it sounds like it's prevention if you started early on before, you know, you get the illness. Did you ever have an experience like that where you're just looking at the patient's eyes and telling them the news, I can no longer go past this point?
I have been thankfully proven wrong so many times that I learned during my career that I'm not God, and my words are very powerful. And I stopped giving numbers, and I stopped playing God. I give you a story.
Okay.
I remember a very young patient. She was perhaps in her late 30s, early 40s. Came to my office, and she had breast cancer which had metastasized to her spine.
Oh, wow.
And she was there for me to give radiation to her spine. She was emaciated, like really, really bone and skin.
Wow.
And I knew that she had a couple of young children. And the thought passed my mind that I felt really bad for her children, because I felt that she's not going to be alive in 6 months. So I gave radiation I didn't say that to her, but that's the thought that I had. I gave radiation to her spine and forgot about her. A year or so ago, this blonde, beautiful woman came to my office with long hair, and she was distributing some pamphlets and said, hi, Dr. Hart. I'm like, I didn't recognize her. I just pretended I know. I'm like, hi, how are you doing? And then when she left, I asked my receptionist, like, who was that? And when they told me who she was, I was like, what?
Yeah.
And she not only lived she's still living.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
For her children to graduate. Years later, the cancer metastasized to her brain. By then, we had new treatment. She got radiation to her brain. I was like, no, we don't know everything.
Yeah.
We don't know everything. And because of that, I don't plant these powerful thoughts. Dr. Joe Dispenza calls them death sentence. I don't put death sentence in people's mind, because once they start believing those numbers and those statistics, it happens. So unless somebody insists on knowing the statistics, I do not volunteer.
Okay.
And even if they insist, I say, this is the statistics. You are not a statistics. You can be completely different.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome.
We're giving away 3 customized ASD t-shirts. All you have to do is like, subscribe, and comment down below on the video. And we're going to announce our 3 lucky winners in our next episode on the Wake Up Call.
That's awesome. Now the MAP, I want to dive a little bit into the MAP.
Sure.
MAP, it stands for what?
Make anything possible.
Yeah. So make anything possible. MAP, how did you incorporate this when you were going through your trauma, your struggle? How can you take us through the process
Sure.
of how MAP works?
Sure. So MAP showed up in my Facebook, and first time I didn't really consider it, and then a friend of mine who knew I was suffering, and she texted me and said, you should really try it. And I tried it with a MAP coach, didn't really like it, didn't follow it. And then somehow I was introduced to the founder of this modality. Her name is Colette Stryker, and she lives in Houston.
Oh, wow.
She is a French psychologist who had been discouraged by therapy.
Yeah.
And had read the book of Dr. Flinch. He was a Canadian psychologist who had created this modality that led into MAP. And she and her son, Valentine, they went and they were trained by him.
Okay.
And he gave them all the right to make anything out of his modality, and they turned it into make anything possible. And by then, Colette was only accepting VIP businesses and all of that. She didn't accept private clients, but I guess universe gifted me 6 sessions with her.
Yeah.
And she was generous enough that didn't even charge me. And I had 6 sessions with her, and I was just amazed. So obviously, after I had that experience, I got into the science of it. Okay, so how did this work? So what MAP does, it rewires your brain. So when we are traumatized, our brain is wired a certain way. And that is why we have certain patterns in our lives. Say, you know, somebody who has been abused in relationships keeps choosing abusive partners.
Right.
That's a pattern.
Yeah.
Okay? Or other patterns.
Right.
Why is that? Because our brain has been wired a certain way. Now, we used to think that when your brain is wired a certain way, that is it. You cannot change it.
Yeah.
But there's this term called window of opportunity, meaning that you can rewire that.
Yeah.
And that is what MAP does. And that is what plant medicine does.
Yes, it does.
So you rewire the pattern.
Yeah. So, question: how different is that from somebody playing? I'm talking mapping. How different is MAP than somebody reprogramming their subconscious mind with affirmations? So, say I'm using me as an example. Years ago, I was introduced by a gentleman who's called Bob Proctor. He actually, there's a lot of teachings you could go online and look up. And there's actually an actual book out there called The Secrets by Rhonda Byrne. Yeah. So it teaches you about the law of attraction and how to reprogram your subconscious mind. How different is that approach than the MAP approach? Because from my understanding, MAP is, just hearing it initially, is something used, a modality used to help not suppress trauma, but rewire how you view your trauma.
The major difference is that affirmations are working with conscious mind, and MAP is working with subconscious mind. Now, why is it that millions of people have read The Secret, have watched The Secret, and they're not able to manifest?
Yeah.
Because there's this subconscious resistance. They say, I am wealthy. And then subconscious says, no, you're not. You're very poor. And say, I am winning $1 million tonight. I have lottery. No, you're not.
Yeah. It's so funny. I've been there too.
There's this fight subconsciously between the affirmations. So what MAP does, we call it superconscious, but it's really your higher self. So during a MAP session, me as a coach, I connect with your superconscious. You're closing your eyes, you're relaxing, and you're not sharing anything with me. I would say, okay, what do you want to work on today? It might be a traumatic event. It could be an emotion that is bothering you today. It could be something you wanted to manifest and you haven't been able to. Whatever it is, we want to overcome something that you haven't been able to overcome. We want to neutralize a negative emotion. We want to neutralize some kind of resistance you have towards something. So what I use to connect with your superconscious is muscle checking. Are you familiar with muscle checking?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Please
So
elaborate.
we have a very powerful tool to get yes and no answers from our higher self, and that is called muscle checking.
Okay.
There are different ways of muscle checking. The simplest way is that some parents are teaching their children now, and that's very powerful. Say you're in a pharmacy and you want to know whether this supplement is good for you or not. If you stand in front of this supplement and you want to know whether this is good for you or not, if you stand and you close your eyes and you ask, is this supplement good for me or not? Your body, if it's good for you, the answer is yes, your body moves forward.
Really?
Yep, try it. And if it's a no, your body goes backward.
Wow.
That's a yes and no. That's the simplest way of doing it. And you can do for anything. That's a yes and no. Now, if you want to always, be standing, you can do that with your finger. You can train your higher self by saying, this could be like, I can say, by doing this, if I would say yes is when there's less resistance when I pull this. And no is when there's a lot of resistance. Or it could be the opposite. I just train it, okay?
Yeah.
So when I'm working with a client, I'm doing MAP, I have a chart that is very comprehensive. It took me a year to become a coach for MAP. It's that detail-oriented.
Yeah.
And your superconscious is guiding me through this chart as what we need to work on.
Yeah.
We may be led to work on your chakras. We may be led to work on your meridian points. We may be led to work on your what we call parts. These are very young versions that were stuck in that age when we were traumatized.
Wow.
So, for example, I don't know if you have heard about internal family system by Dr. Richard Schwartz.
I have not.
Okay, he has developed this whole therapy called internal family system based on parts.
Okay.
And what it says is that, say you were 4 years old and something really bad happened to you. That 4-year-old, to help you survive, became your protector. Now, even at this age, if you have not dealt with that trauma, sometimes when you are in a situation that reminds you of that very event, that 4-year-old takes control.
Wow.
And you react. That 4-year-old is reacting, it's not you.
Wow.
That is why in trauma they say that you don't react to present, you're reacting to the past. Because what is happening now is reminding you of what happened at 4. So we have these parts. One is 4-year-old, one is 5, one is 6. It's like a kindergarten of us at different ages when we have been traumatized. And they are in the driver's seat and they are controlling our behavior. Your higher self guides me through this chart, and then I communicate with your higher self and I say, neutralize this or do this or this, replace it with this. And the healing is happening by your higher self, not by me. And the rewiring is happening by your higher self, not me.
Yeah.
So, in summary, this is a process that is happening subconsciously. It's happening by your higher self. And that is why it's so much more powerful than affirmations.
Wow. So affirmations is dealing with the conscious,
Yeah.
and then MAP is dealing with the subconscious.
It removes all the resistance.
Wow. So you mentioned something earlier in our conversation about plant medicine. I'm curious to know, have you experienced plant medicine?
Yes.
How did that help?
So in before KAP and MAP came into my life, when I had failed all medications and all of that, I was just in 2020, I was learning that psilocybin there's studies and data is coming. I was like, oh, I have to do that. So in 2020, I went to Costa Rica and I tried ayahuasca. Now, I have to say that I didn't go with the intention of, oh, this is going to be a spiritual journey or something like that. My whole intention was that, okay, I have treatment-resistant depression, and ayahuasca is going to heal me from my depression.
Yeah.
And whether that happened or not, I don't know. I didn't have a spontaneous healing or something immediate.
Right.
If it happened gradually over next couple of years. I don't know. For that reason, I have correlated my healing to KAP and MAP more than plant medicine.
Okay.
And then a couple of years ago, I decided to try magic mushroom, which I did in Willis with Bonnie.
Oh, nice.
And that was a beautiful experience. I I had a lot of fear of death.
Really?
And I live alone. And I knew that practically it's possible that I would be dying alone. I was like, I don't need to be afraid of that. And I knew that psilocybin was being used at hospice for people who had fear of death.
Yeah.
And I had a private session with Bonnie, and that was absolutely beautiful. It removed my fear of death.
Wow. I have a question with regarding to just on the whole plant medicine. I know you went there for depression, but did that help trigger or help pivot or give you, were you told that you were going to go in this direction with the holistic approach? Or is it just something you found out past the ceremony?
I have to tell you that I think it is important where you do and with who you do plant medicine.
Oh, yeah.
The place I went in Costa Rica was very business oriented. It was a very huge crowd, and I'm generally very empathic. And the first night I was there in the middle of crowd, I was absorbing, I was going crazy. I was absorbing everybody's energy. It was the most difficult night of my life. And the second night, the shaman recognized it, and they put me at the edge of the crowd. And even then, I had severe panic attacks.
Wow.
And they removed me from the room, and they put me outside next to the fire. And they taught me to say the name of my father, the name of my mother, my own name. And gradually, when I'm ready to give my fear and depression, everything to Father Fire, which was beautiful, because after 2-3 hours of this practice, I felt this bliss I had never felt in my life. And then the rain started coming, and even though I had been baptized twice before, I really felt that was the first time I was being baptized. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
And so I think what happened was that I had to stop all of my medications for plant medicine. And when I came back, I felt that starting my medications was useless, because medication they were not helping me, and I had to go through withdrawal to stop them. So whether that was plant medicine guiding me, it was an intuitive process that I decided not to go back on my medications.
Yeah.
So I was taking still a lot of supplements for sleep and all of that, but I stopped my medications. So I really can't. There were some people in Costa Rica that at the end of that week, they could put their finger and say, oh, this and this and this happened in this week. I was not one of them.
Okay.
So if it happened gradually.
Yeah. KAP.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Explain to me what KAP is a little bit, because I don't want to explain something. I used to have an interpretation of Kundalini up until recent. But what is KAP? And how, and what other modalities or is there with when it comes to Kundalini?
Kundalini energy is life force energy, and it's your own energy.
Yeah.
It's not something that is coming from outside of you.
Okay.
It is the life force energy that has been with you all your life.
Yeah.
It knows you very intimately. It's super intelligent. And for most people, it is dormant. It is not activated. It's not awakened. So with KAP or other awakening modalities, the intent is to awaken and activate this dormant energy.
Yeah.
Now, there's a lot of fear about the term Kundalini, and I believe that it's coming from a very, very small percentage of people who have what is called spontaneous Kundalini awakening. These people have no intention of awakening their Kundalini.
Yes.
It just happens to them. And because they don't know what is happening to them, and because when they go to a doctor or they go on the internet, they get a lot of misinformation, and they don't know how to handle it. It proliferates on the internet as this really frightening thing, and people read about it and they think, oh, if I do KAP or if I do Kundalini yoga, if I do Kundalini breath, that is going to happen to me. That's not the case at all. Okay. So as putting that aside, I divide Kundalini modalities to two groups. One is Kundalini activation process versus Kundalini yoga, Kundalini breath, whatever. In these two groups, there are two major differences.
Okay.
One group is based on effort, meaning that the person who intends to activate their Kundalini are doing something, either as a form of breath or as a form of yoga, whatever it is. They are doing something intentionally to activate their Kundalini.
Yeah.
KAP, on the other hand, is what we call ease-based, meaning that we ask you not to do anything. We ask you just lay down, close your eyes, and listen to this playlist that your facilitator creates, minimum 60 minutes, maximum 90 minutes. All you do, you relax, close your eyes, listen to this music, and your facilitator transmits energy to you. So you're receiving this transmission of energy.
Yeah.
The second difference is that with other modalities, the person who is making an effort to activate their energy, they're trying to activate their energy at the root chakra. And with whatever they're doing, whether it's breath or movement or whatever, they're trying to bring that energy up to their crown.
Yeah.
With KAP, the energy enters your crown and goes down towards your root. Yeah. And once the chakras are open, it becomes a wheel. It goes both directions.
Yeah.
The major difference between these two modalities is that because neither you nor your facilitator is in charge, I'm talking about KAP.
Yes.
KAP is 100% safe because the energy is in charge.
Yeah.
The energy doesn't give you what you're asking, it gives you what you need, and it doesn't give you at the dose you want, it gives you as much as your system can handle. Because of that, it's 100% safe. I always tell my clients, the only side effect of KAP is betterment of you and your life.
Nah.
With other modalities, our ego takes over,
yes,
and I want the one that the other person has. I want it yesterday. I want to activate my Kundalini tonight, today, 100%.
Yeah.
And we overdo it. We often push it over what our system can handle, and then we can experience side effects.
And so for yourself as a facilitator, you consider you are an energy healer. That's how I
No,
take
the
it,
energy
no?
is the healer.
Okay, so you're the one facilitator.
I'm a tool.
Okay.
I basically, before every session, I pray.
Yes.
And I say, please remove me from this process.
Yeah.
I consider myself a conduit, that the energy moves through me and does what it's supposed to do.
What does the preparation look like? Do you, I say it moves through you. Do you pick up any energies that you, in the process of KAP? How do you, prep yourself? How do you clean yourself?
Yes.
And, I know this is a loaded question, but I kind of think about you leading up to KAP. You worked in a hospital, you're working around trauma.
Yes.
You went and, said implant medicine.
Yes.
So
So first of all, I have a facilitator of my own, and I receive KAP from my own facilitator every week. So I kind of replenish my own energy. Secondly, I have a ritual because, yes, when you facilitate, whether you're a doctor or a KAP facilitator or a MAP coach, you absorb people's energy. So every day when I shower, I imagine that this water is light. And is washing everything that doesn't belong to me, and it goes into the earth. And before I enter, whether it's MAP or KAP, I imagine that I'm in this golden sphere that is protecting me and my energy. And I do things, burning sage and all kind of stuff. You have to have that. You have to have some kind of protective ceremony, ritual, whatever you call it. Otherwise, you'll be absorbing all of this and it would be a mess.
Wow. So what comes first, MAP or KAP?
They work together.
They work together.
So what happens with KAP is interesting, that KAP brings traumas to the surface. And for me, it's like, okay, if I notice that somebody is dealing with trauma that has come up to surface, I'm like, okay, we can work on this.
Yeah.
But I have people who are not doing KAP, they just come to me for MAP.
How can they get a hold of you? Do you have a website? Do you have a location, or how does?
Right. So I have two websites. One is for my cancer consultations, and that is Heart to Heart Cancer Consultants. Is h2hcc.com.
Okay.
The other one is Healing by Heart, and Heart is HART, and that is for my KAP and MAP. Also on social media, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. They just Google my name, they find me.
Okay, that's good. And for somebody who this is something that I often see with people, either they end up being dependent on certain like plant medicines or healers. We call it the guru trap.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
What is your take on, I guess, what is your approach to help the patient not fall into that?
So my highest goal is to empower people. I don't want anybody dependent on me. Absolutely not. Yeah. So I tell them, and I believe in that it's not me, it's the energy.
Yes.
And my definition of healing is you reconnect with your body, you reconnect with your intuition. And that is exactly what happened to me. You have to become independent of any outside source, including me.
Yeah.
So when I see somebody is becoming dependent on me, I wean them off. It's like, I don't want anybody independent. That's a bad sign. And I don't want anybody to be dependent on KAP or MAP either. You know, we have this term in plant medicine, they call it hyperspace and hyperslap. Like people who do too much of plant medicine, the entities say no more. And if they do more, they don't have those high or good experiences. They may even have negative experiences because the entity's like, no, you haven't integrated, you haven't incorporated, I have become a crutch for you. No, no more of that.
Yeah.
The same thing with that. So I encourage them. They say, okay, how many caps do I have to do? How often do I have? You ask your intuition. You do it when you're ready. I never tell people, oh, do it every week or do it 5 times a day. No, you ask your body, you ask your intuition. So I'm very careful about that because my goal is that they reconnect with their body, they reconnect with intuition, and they become independent of the other sources, including me.
Well, I want to just say thank you so much for your time,
Thank you.
Dr. Noushin.
Thank you for inviting
I've
me.
learned so much leading up to today. But also sitting down with you, you give this beautiful energy.
Thank you. I appreciate
I look
that.
forward to being able to have more conversations with you
Same
in the
here.
near future, and maybe have a sit down with you later on.
And I want to thank Dr. Nelson Valena for introducing us.
He's such a beautiful soul.
Absolutely.
He gives such a warm
Yes.
energy when he comes into the room. So
Yes.
I want to, just tell the viewers, if this, video had resonated with you, you feel a call to, address the childhood trauma, any trauma, stress, depression, anything that you're going through, feel free, reach out, and we'll leave the information down below to be able to reach Dr. Noushin.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for everything, Dr.